Hey folks, what is cracking, man? I'm the Credit Savage. Welcome to my channel where I like to talk about traveling for free and doing so by using credit card sign up bonuses to your advantage, as well as all of those other perks and addendums that then you're entitled to once you're in the game so that you can maximize on those rewards, thus taking that trip that you've been wanting to take by yourself or with the family completely for free, as well as the hotel stay, or paying as little money out of your own pocket as possible. Now, uh, before I get any further, if I say something that clicks with you and that you find useful, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It'll cost you nothing and it helps me out with the algorithm. So, one more thing. I made a video. My last video, as a matter of fact, was the Alaska Airlines Visa Signature Card by Bank of America. Kind of, like a little review, yet kind of like the process of how it went about and why I applied for the credit card. And in it, I told you guys that they were charging $70 for every piece of luggage one way. In fact, a couple of people mentioned that. I did some digging around, and in fact, I was actually not accurate in that description because it was actually $35 each way and $70 is a round trip. I did not look all the way at the bottom at the fine print, so I apologize for that. I try to be, as forthcoming as possible with you guys and give you, all the information that I have. But this one time, I kind of, I was wrong, and so I apologize for that. Now let's move on. Okay, so you've been doing your due diligence. You're kind of now in the credit card game. You're ready to get that next credit card and say that you really have a liking for American Express, right? And so now you've taken care of your credit score as much as possible. You've kept up with the payments. You've done all you can. You kept your utilization low as far as your credit cards are concerned, and are ready to take that next step. And you applied for a credit card with American Express, say a cash card, which is like the American Express Gold card, or the Platinum card, or any of the other variations of the Platinum or the Gold, the Blue Cash Every Day. Anyhow, you get denied, right? So you've gotten denied, and you don't know why you've gotten denied. I know that this is not necessarily the answer you wanted to hear per se, or the outcome that you were looking for, but you don't have to take no for an answer. You actually can be proactive and kind of figure out where it went wrong. Now, there is a reconsideration line that you can call, and believe it or not, a very high percentage of people that call this line, once they start answering the questions, they get approved. It's just a matter of, talking to the right person and being as forthcoming as possible, not lying, okay, but yet not necessarily saying, I want to sign up bonus, because at the end of the day, we know that's why you do it. But you don't want to necessarily say that, because then they know that you're kind of credit hunting, and they may just decide to say no right then and there. So what to do and why have you been denied? Well, let's just go right off the top. Why you may have been denied is because your credit score is just not high enough, okay? I know it's not necessarily what you want to hear, but sometimes it's that simple. So what to do is just up to you. Just make sure that you keep your utilization low. Make sure that you, as soon as those charges hit, pay them off right off the bat. Try not to carry a balance, because that right there is not necessarily productive when you're playing the points game, because the percentage that you're paying in interest sometimes outdoes the amount of points that you'll get back. So try not to carry a balance. Another one may be that you have too many recent inquiries. Say you've got 3 or 4 credit cards for the last, 6 months, and it's been good up to this point, but now, they're trying to say, pump the brakes, and you should, wait a couple of months, make sure you utilize your credit and that you keep those credit cards working, as well as keep, those payments going. Do not miss any payments. That is the key. Not to miss any payments, and just keep on and try in a couple of months. All right. If you get denied on the reconsideration line. So we'll get to that. Right now, too much credit may have been extended. Let's just say that you got 3 or 4 credit cards, maybe more, and your credit line now is above $100,000. Yet, let's say that what your annual revenue is, as far as your job, maybe like 60,000, 70,000. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I don't really know your finances, but let's say you make 60,000, 70,000 a year, and you have over 70,000 or every $80,000 in credit line. So then at that point, these companies are like, your risk is too high at this point. You're getting over 100% of what your salary is for the year. And so now they're trying to just say, hey, maybe this guy is extending himself too much, or this lady, and let's just pump the brakes on them. So at that point, what you can do is you can actually call these companies and tell them that you'd like your credit line lowered, so that then you can have a little more wiggle room. And when you do apply again, you can be accepted. Or when you call the recon line, you can say, well, I moved some money around. I've gotten my credit line lowered. Give it another shot and see what they say. Probably it'll work. Not enough funds in bank accounts, or a limited credit history. Okay, so let's say that you're applying for a Chase card and you have, like, I don't know, a couple of $1,000 with Chase, and then you want the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Well, they'll probably say no, because the Chase Sapphire Reserve carries at least a $10,000 credit line at a minimum. Okay, same thing with American Express. They know what credit line they're going to give you, and if you carry a couple of banking accounts with them, and your credit line is too low, or your banking account numbers are too low, well, then they'll say, you know what, this guy or this lady, they don't have too much money with us at this point. Let's wait for them to increase that and see how it goes. So what I would do then is maybe I put a couple of $1,000 on that credit line. I'm sorry, on the bank account, maybe a little more, and then try again, call the recon line, and see what they say, or just wait a few months, get your numbers up, and then apply again. So, or your listed income isn't high enough. So at this point, you have to reevaluate what credit line you're trying to go for. Like I said, if you want to lower your credit line, that's up to you. But if your listed income, let's say, is $50,000, and you're looking for all these bonuses, sometimes it's just not high enough. Sometimes, it's just one of those things where you may have to lower that credit line a bit, and kind of weigh your options and see where you want to go, what you're trying to accomplish. Having a plan works. I don't suggest you lie, but say that next year you're looking to have a $10,000, $20,000 increase on your salary. Well, you can put that down. I don't see how that would not be beneficial, because you're not necessarily lying. You're just saying, this is what I'm probably going to make in a few months. And so you're going to go and change what your salary is, or you're going to say, this is what my yearly income is. I don't suggest you go overboard and say, well, in 5-6 years, I'm looking to make, $150,000, $200,000. And then you jot that down and you go from 40,000 to 200,000, in which case you're going to open yourself for a financial review. And if you have credit cards with that company and they see that you lied on your application, they'll just shut down everything. So you don't want to do that. Try to be as honest as possible, but then, give yourself a break as well. Just don't go overboard. That's what I'm trying to say. Or you have a past negative mark on your credit report. Let's say that you missed a payment or two in the past, and that, you are now keeping up with the payments, but yet it's coming back to haunt you. At which case, when you talk to the people at the recon line, you can say, hey, look, I know that, my past was not necessarily the greatest. I missed a couple of payments. And then give them a reason. Say, I was going through some financial issues, a divorce. I had some personal, family problems. A parent died. You know best what your life is like. So try to be as honest as possible. I assure you they smell that. And if you just say, I'm looking to kind of turn the page, and as you can see, my past payment history is really good, and I would appreciate if you guys give me a chance and let me show you that I can, in fact, keep up with the payments. They may actually okay you for this credit card, or they may say, you know what, let's just see what happens in a couple of months. Keep doing what you're doing and apply again. The thing is that whether you get denied or you get accepted, your credit score is going to take a hit. So you have to keep that in mind. Usually is, anywhere from 10 to 30 points, depending on, your credit history, depending on what your credit score is at the moment and how many credit cards you've taken out. That's how much of a hit you're going to take on your credit score. I suggest that you're looking at charge cards like the American Express Gold Card or the Platinum Card. You look to be at least in the 700 area. Some people have gotten them with 680, 670, but if your credit history is limited, I would advise to hold the brakes and just get your credit score to the 700s and give it a shot. If you're looking at cards, that are like the Blue Cash Preferred or the Blue Cash Everyday, 720 would be good. 710. Usually they want a little better of a credit score when it comes to the credit cards, not necessarily the cash cards, because they know that you have to pay right off the bat. They want to make money. They want you to pay that annual fee, but they also have to make sure that they don't extend themselves into like a negative situation when it comes to giving you credit, because at the end of the day, they don't want you to default on your payments and default on your credit line, and so they're at a loss. Anyhow, that's the best advice that I can give you. Don't take no for an answer. I'm going to put down the recon line down here so that, you can call that number if you've been denied an American Express card. And like I said, try to be as honest as possible, because these people, what they do for a living is catch lies. So like I said, try to be as honest as possible, and try to basically let them know and be courteous. Okay. At the same time, be courteous, and do understand that these people are used to talking to a lot of entitled folks on the line, and they get called names, they get yelled at. You don't want to be that person. You want to be classy, and you want to be even keeled, and you want to make sure that you respect their time, because at the end of the day, they hold the keys to what you want. So I personally think that you attract more bees with honey than what you do with vinegar. So just keep that in mind and put yourself in their shoes. What would you do if you were them and they were hearing your story? So jot down some points as to what your situation is, so that you can see it when you're speaking to them. Okay, and as you mention these points, kind of cross that line and keep going, so that you at least get yourself to be heard as far as what that list goes. And if things still don't go right, there's this thing called HUCA or hookah, which means hang up and call again. I know a lot of people that have been denied when they called the recon line that first time, and even those first 3-4 times. And finally, that day or the next day, they talk to someone, and that person says yes. So sometimes it's just that person on the other end of the line is having a bad day, and there's nothing you can do. So try to, hang up and call again, and try to be courteous. I know you're probably going to be like, I'm saying the same thing over and over, but at the end of the day, you want to have the best chance at getting this credit card, because that's what you want. So don't take no for an answer, but yet don't be a jerk about it. That's the best advice that I can give you. And I assure you that 90% of the time, if you do everything the way that I structured it, and you're courteous and kind, and know that that person is, a human being on the other side, not a machine, and that they also, they are used to dealing with people, and they're used to dealing with entitled people. You don't want to be that person and get denied flat out. So you give yourself a better percentage at a yes by being kind and courteous. Anyways, I'm the Credit Savage. That's what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Until then, you guys take care, and do remember that cash is king, yes, but credit is power, baby.